All right, C Money. Tell me what you want to say about the Flash movie. What you got?
All right. So before I do that, I've been meaning because I've been listening and I keep hearing it and I've been meaning to bring it up. Did you guys make that beat or did you guys use that beat? Because that beat is fire.
That's a Asante question there.
Well, that is salute to the man who always seems to make us look great. That is the Wandering Dutch, who always seems to find us the chef's kiss of tracks that we are then able to use. It is royalty free, but we always try to find some unique flavors for our shows. So that is a flowers to the Wandering Dutch.
And I do know what he means, Kay, because there's days that we start and we'll have like a long day of work or whatever, and we're about to start the show. And once that beat pumps, my head starts popping a little bit, and boom. I get in that mood. So shout out to Wandering Dutch for sure.
So for those who aren't aware, just so you know now, I won't unmute my mic so it ruins it for you. But every time you hear that beat drop, you can hear me screaming, "Let's go!" in the background. I'm just doing that every time. Every time.
That's how you hype yourself. So you're like, you do the Goldberg, but you don't hit your head on the door, right? Like Goldberg used to do back in.
No. Gotta be careful, man. The microphone is expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, all right, C Money. So what's up, man? Talk to me about this Flash movie that you have this urge to want to defend for some reason.
Listen, I keep hearing it, and I can't understand. I feel like my eyes are not the same as everybody else's because I watched the Flash movie, and I loved it. I would have gone as far as to say it was one of my favorite superhero movies of all time.
Really? Well, that's high praise.
Okay. Before we chop all this up, let me quickly ask you, what are your thoughts on the DC? I wouldn't even call it EU because they tried to do that and it didn't work. But what do you think of the all the properties thus far? Your all of your what do you call it? Batman versus Superman, all the ones that have come before it. Are you a fan? Are you a hater? Where do you fall before we got to the Flash?
So I'm not a hater of them. I think they were all good. To some extent, like to some point. I always prefer like their single movies. So like the Batman that just came out was amazing. The Joker movie, amazing. But like the things that they were doing all together, they were fine. Let me
ask you like this, because I'm a big comic head, all right? And the MCU in phase one, because the MCU leading all the way up to Endgame really did something special, right? When it comes that was peak. And not only did it do something special for cinema in general, because they actually made something that everyone thought was impossible work by connecting so many movies in a universe together. But at the same time, DC then, obviously, to try to play catch up, we know what they did with the Batman versus Superman movie, which was mixed reviews and stuff like that. They kind of made Snyder kind of mold himself into an MCU that it obviously to me looked like he didn't want to go that route, right? So this Flash is part of that Snyderverse. Okay, okay. In watching the movie, I'll tell you what did not work for me. What did not work for me is that I never liked that Flash in the first place. Okay, so I am someone that I grew up with Barry Allen being a very serious character, not a goofy character. I feel like that goofiness kind of kicked in from the Justice League cartoons where they made him a little bit more goofy, because in all the comics that I've read, the Barry Allen is a badass. Okay, and he's not goofy like that or anything like that, you know. So to me, it's kind of like a complete character shift, where that's where I didn't really like the movie. Like, his arc did nothing for me. The whole movie, the only times that I got excited was for Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton is the OG for me. You know, that's the first Batman that I saw in theaters, and that's really the Batman that got me into the whole comic thing when I was, you know, a little John Wolfe. So let me ask you two gentlemen this. Do you think that some of this excitement that you guys have is a little bit of nostalgia working for you guys here?
So if I was to kind of paint the picture on my end, so you can see how easy it is for me to not feel this way. I am not a huge comic guy. I like very little. I basically got into video games, and that was it as far as what I really cared for. I like, you know, like Batman was always huge for me, but not because of comics. You know, I saw the original, you know, back in the day, the game that came out, the movies, like those early movies,
the Keaton stuff.
Yeah, it made me love Batman. You know what I'm saying? So, and then basically I'm a Batman like stan. Like, I just love Batman, right? So there's not really much wrong that Batman can do for me. So he's my Master Chief in the gaming world.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like I just, you know, for me, I don't have a relation to the Flash outside of knowing that he was that fast dude. Yeah, Batman the animated series, facts. I saw her Vanessa in the chat.
Yes,
that one as well.
And I mean, that to me is Batman. When I read the comics, I hear the voice from oh my god, I can't believe his voice. I mean, his name is blanking out on me, guys. Help me out. That he passed away. Oh
wow.
Oh geez.
I was about to say. Now I forgot.
Dude, hey, Chad, help me out. I'm completely blanking out, and of course,
you mean Kevin Conroy.
Conroy, thank you, Kay, with the save. Yes, Kevin Conroy is the voice that I hear in my head when I hear Batman. So, Kay, what about you? Do you think that the Batman, Michael Keaton nostalgia kind of carried that movie for you, or what? Or you think it was a solid movie? Is it up there like C Money? C Money says it's one of his favorites. I mean,
so let me say this, okay? Let me say this. I am both of you folks. I, like you, John Wolfe, was a huge comic book stan. So much so that even though I may not collect the physicals anymore, I still have my Marvel and or sometimes Comixology subscription on deck, because I have to keep up every once in a while.
Nice.
I was a huge comic stan. I love comic books, right? But like you, John, Mr. C Money, I have been able to really enjoy some of these different attempts at telling these stories. For those who are big comic book fans, you know what elsewhere stories are.
Oh, I love those stories. Those are my favorite.
You know that basically speaks to all of comic books, right? The same character that you know has been born and has died many times in many iterations.
That's a good point.
While I do see your point, John, about what the character they made of Barry Allen, I can see him as a very different iteration from a different version of Barry Allen that we saw. Like,
absolutely.
to the point of the movie that we were even watching, right? We saw many Batman. Spoiler alert. We saw many Batman in that movie, right?
Yes, we did.
So this Barry Allen could be the goofy Barry Allen, and there's a serious one also somewhere in the
right? I hear there's a rumor that there's a Two-Face. I'll just leave it at there. Superman from there. Yeah. Two-Face Superman, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So needless to say, I can say much like C Money, I enjoyed the film. I actually thought it was unfortunate. I thought it's unfortunate that story and that world will not be allowed to go to fruition because, like I said,
let it burn.
Like every comic book, there are many comic books. There are comic books where you have Batman who's straight up laced cowl. You have your Adam West kind of vibe. You have your Batman. You have your Batman Beyond, right? You can have Batman be look at the movie that came out that C Money loves so much. What do you call it? I call that Batman. Emo Batman, and he was really good, right? There are many iterations.
Not as Bruce Wayne, but as Batman, he was pretty decent.
But this is my point, though. That there are many iterations of this character, and those are allowed to stand.
You're right.
So we get Goofy Barry Allen. That's fine,
Hey,
but he acted so well too. Go ahead.
I think he did a good job. Yes.
No, the movie, the acting, and all that stuff is on point. No doubt about it. It's just, I don't know. I thought that the plot. I'm too much of a
John Wolf. You're being hashtag.
Yeah,
you're being hashtag not my master cheeks. That's what you're doing
exactly.
Right now.
I'm being a little bit too sweaty, and the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just think that I'm kind of happy for the DC fans that they're gonna get a clean slate because it's such a hodgepodge, guys, that they've created in that universe. Let's just wipe everything out and let's just start from scratch. And I'm kind of excited for the new stuff coming from James Gunn. I think that he's gonna put his flavor on his universe, and he does have the Bible from Kevin Feige. If he took notes, if he's smart, he'll kind of learn from his mistakes and pick up on what's good and what's bad. And let's see what James Gunn can do with these DC characters that deserve the love. But the last thing I'll say is that Superman Red Sun, guys, if you have not read that Elseworlds tale from DC, that is one of the best Superman stories of all time. I'll just put it like this: instead of Superman landing in Kansas in the US, as we traditionally know, it doesn't matter what universe he's from, that's usually how it happens. This time he actually lands in Russia, and he helps the Russian regime kind of take over the world, and Batman's in there in a little unique way, Wonder Woman and all the characters. Read that story, guys. Fantastic. My favorite Superman story of all time. I really recommend it. Yeah, so
that sounds wild.
Guys, welcome.
Hey, shout out to the real Doodle in the chat now.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It was me.
Yep,
but the real Doodle has arrived.
That's right. So guys, welcome to episode 12 of Comic Talk. No, I'm just playing. Episode 12 of the Gamers Playground that we named No Going Back. And we'll get into that in a little bit. First, let me introduce my co-host, the man with the smoothest voice in all of podcasts, in my opinion. And I'm lucky enough to, be on a show with him and talk to him on a daily basis. Mr. Kay Asante, how's your weekend? How's your day going? And say what's up to everybody, man.
And John, excuse me, what? I'm sorry, what happened? No, smoothest voice. Anyway, no, thank you.
Voice, man. Come on, I'm giving you up here, man.
No, I'm good. Thank you so much. No, thank you so much to Mr. C Money for being here. This is awesome, man.
Yep.
I'm excited to chop it up and find out all about your world and how you interface with PC gaming and all of that. And of course, the work week has been difficult for me, but every chance I get, I try to put on my helmet, try to go out there and try to explore the Starfield. So, I'm sure we'll talk about that as well.
For sure. And I want to introduce to everybody our special guest tonight, Kay Asante. Already introduced him, but I'll do it again. C Money. And shout out to C Money. If you see Doodle in the chat, that is his wife. They have a show that they run every single weekend, and C Money can tell you the other shows that they run during the week. C Money, say what's up to. First of all, you better say what's up to your wife because she's holding down everything for you to be here on the show, and then say what's up to the chat, man. We on a weekly basis, C Money, the community, that shows support in the chat. I know that we got a super chat a little bit earlier. We're gonna read it. Don't worry about that. Say what's up to everybody, C Money. Introduce yourself and let everybody know about your channel, man.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, guys, thank you so much for inviting me on because I've again, John, we've been on shows before and we chop it up a lot. But Kay Asante, I've seen you a lot, but never really got to kind of chill and hang and talk. So I really appreciate this. It's pretty cool to be here. I love watching the show, so I'm definitely down, and I appreciate it. Shout out to my lovely wife, Doodle. Thank you for holding it down so I could be here, and thanks for hanging with us in the chat. And thank you to everybody else who showed up. You know, this is very cool. Love doing this stuff. So it's great that you guys turned out. So we have a channel recently rebranded to On Point for Gamers. That's our YouTube channel name, and we are now up to 4 shows a week that we do that are scheduled. And you know, this morning we had our first show that starts the week. It's called Morning Quest. It's Doodle and myself. It's a relatively short show, hour and a half, and we just get to kind of start the week off right, you know, talk a little gaming. You know, we had a nice Starfield conversation. You know, Doodle's picking up Starfield. She didn't think she was, but all of a sudden now she likes to get in there and explore, and she's finding things that I never even, you know, saw yet. So it's pretty cool. So we had a great show this morning. And then on Tuesdays, we have our brand new show that we started called Her, Him, and a Guest. It's the first time that we've ever had guests on our channel. It's always just been the family on there. So it's so cool. Last week we had the one and only Mr. Boomstick XL.
Oh, that's awesome. That's right. I listened to the show. It was really good.
Yeah, you were in there. Appreciate it. But yeah, it was very cool. We had a great time. It was an awesome show. And tomorrow we have the amazingly known and very awesome dude King David from Iron Lords podcast.
Oh, royalty.
Fantastic.
Royalty.
Great guest, man.
Yeah, man. That's
yeah.
That's already.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, you guys at some point, you know, you guys got to come on down too.
But I don't think you guys can handle the Latino heat, man.
Well, we're Latino, so you're just coming into the Latino oven, bro.
That's right, man. I think that when I join you guys, it'll be a family reunion. You know, it'll be like a Thanksgiving in a Latino house. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's almost like an interview show, but it's not. It is, but it's different. Like we try not to, like we're aware of all the interview shows that are out there, so we're not like trying to retread anything. We're assuming that people have listened to those because they're amazing. So we try to just ask a little different things, a little deeper, more personal in kind of way, you know, to kind of really kind of get some real thoughts going. And Boom did great with it.
Oh, okay.
Boom. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you're gonna fit right in if you're talking about boobs, man. All right, so
no.
You see, I always tell Kay Asante that I'm the Deadpool of the show, and he's like the Cable. So like we balance each other. You know what I'm saying? So that I don't go a little bit out there. Thank you so much, C Money, for being here with us. I know that it's always a sacrifice to make it to these podcasts. Number one, you're away from your family, and number two, you're away from Starfield. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Kay, we've gotten 2 super chats. Let's get to them real quick. I'm gonna put up the first one. If you can help us with this, sir.
Absolutely. Oh man, one of the great supporters of this channel and this show, BT Maverick 707 with a $10 super chat saying, "Yo, KO," and John Panda.
Damn.
Who would you guys prefer? Who would you guys prefer to make a handheld, Xbox or Nvidia?
Nice.
Think both sides can offer great features, from a better OS to DLSS on the 3 on the APU, GeForce Now and xCloud, and more. Thank you, guys. Oh well, you know what do you think about that? What do you think about that? For me, I think Xbox probably. I think Xbox because Nvidia has a vested interest to keep everything Nvidia, whereas Xbox will just do their best to make the technology better for all well-rounded. But right when you speak in Nvidia terms, as good as they are, you know, and I love my Shield, you know, it's very specific to Nvidia, right? And Xbox may take a component of Nvidia and then take another component from elsewhere for the benefit of the hardware rather than just selling more Nvidia stuff. You know what I mean? Gotcha. So I always go with that diversification.
Gotcha. How about you, C Money? What do you think? I think I know what the answer is, but the question, let me put it up here again. Would you prefer if Xbox or Nvidia was next to bring out or announce a handheld, what do you think?
So-
What would you prefer?
So I would say Xbox, and that's only because Nvidia essentially, I mean, technically they do, right? Like the Switch is an Nvidia handheld, and the next one is reported to be using DLSS, like the Switch 2. I feel like they're going to be flexing with the Switch 2. I feel like
Mr. Joanna Dark's gonna love you, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why are you kissing Mr. Joanna Dark's butt over here, man? Come on,
Hey
man.
now.
we were talking about it this morning, and it's like I do think that, you know, Nvidia is going to show up for the Nintendo Switch 2 in a big way, and is going to really change how the Nintendo Switch is like perceived in the market. So
Yeah.
I've always wanted an Xbox handheld, but like I feel like if you asked me this question, you know, maybe last year, I would have been like, oh my god, I need an Xbox handheld. But now I'm like, I got the ROG Ally, I got the Legion 2 coming, or the Legion Go coming out.
We've gotten a taste. We got a flavor.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for them. Honestly, it really the real thing, what I want Xbox to do, or Microsoft actually, is to make a version of Windows that allows you to literally like press a button, just like Steam, right? And go into big picture mode. So I want them to be able to press a button and it's my Xbox dashboard, like my
And this
regular
is why
Xbox dashboard.
This is why, even though this man has not been on our channel before, we can connect. Because if you've been on this show or listened to this show before or been on this channel before, we have been advocating the same thing, C Money, for months now, like for ages now.
Great minds think alike.
We need an app. We need an OS level modification. We need all the above. So please continue, sir. Please continue. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I feel. If they did that, that would give me everything that I dreamed on PC, where I could just click it, boom, and it's just I'm in there, and obviously it'll connect all of my other apps and stuff in there. Beautiful. I could just do it, but it's just one nice, beautiful OS system level. Click a button, just works. I would love it.
That's nice. I think that if it depends on the consumer, since we have so many PC handhelds right now, I think that the plethora of device that you can choose from, it ranges. You know, you want something with more power, you want something, you know, with less power. That those ranges and not only in power but in price are already there, starting from the Steam Deck all the way to your ROG Ally, and then Lenovo's getting in the mix and stuff. So I think that if Xbox was to introduce something that would be more like for geared towards that console gamer, for them to kind of have that you know, handheld which can play like a Series S in your hand type deal. Exactly. Now here's the thing: if you can play all of your Xbox library, okay, from your Xbox Series games to your Xbox One games to your 360 to your Xbox, I'm down for it if Xbox releases. If it's just gonna be Xbox just throwing their hat in there at the PC mobile space, I'll pass. I mean, I'll get it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it wrong.
I understand.
I'll be there, but I prefer for them to give their console a portable option, because it's just on the if I want a portable PC, I just think that there's going to be people doing better stuff, you know what I'm saying, out there. That's just my opinion. Now when it comes to finalize to put a bow on it, Nvidia guys, I don't know why, and me and Kate talked about this a few weeks back. I think that because Nintendo went with Nvidia, I think that they made a very wise choice by doing that, and it's giving the Switch more legs than it's supposed to. And I know, okay, we went back and forth that Nintendo.
And unfortunately, when you say that, I must disagree with you. Right?
That's okay.
That's okay. Nintendo is the reason why that thing has legs, not because of Nvidia.
No, I think so, but I think that it goes hand in hand. I think that Nintendo obviously has a vested interest in doing so. And Nvidia has been the one that has kind of been like, hey, can you guys move on? But because they built something so good, Nintendo has been able to squeeze that lemon as much as possible. If that kind of makes sense, where my headspace is coming from.
I agree with you.
I mean, they're capable of squeezing the lemon, though, and that's the thing, right? Because you could have given that tech to somebody else who maybe wasn't as good as doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Like they know their market. Like if it was a PlayStation or an Xbox who had to deal with that power, we would not be getting the same level of I would say visual quality as Nintendo is able to kind of get out of there. Because I mean, as the art style that they have that we accept because the characters that they make and that they have are in those art styles, right? Like we know Mario to look like Mario. So that doesn't limit them, right? They can push it and make it look way better than it should on the hardware that it is. Whereas if Xbox was trying to give us Master Chief on the Switch as a like just as a new game for there, it would be it would not look as good. Right?
No, I agree with that. And the thing is that the other two companies, PlayStation and Xbox, they're going to move on to bigger and better and more power. Where Nintendo, I think that if Nintendo was to hold out another 2 years for their Switch successor, I would not be shocked, guys, as impossible as it seems for Cyberpunk to come out on the Switch. It'll run like dog water, but I just think it's possible because that little Switch has proven time and time again through NVIDIA's DNA that it's possible, and again, there's a lot that goes into that. That's a big conversation,
See, yeah. And that there I will actually you again, because just like Naughty Dog can squeeze the Last of Us 1 and 2 out of a mobile processor, give any talented person time and they'll be able to do it. The only thing, the benefit of Nintendo is they are Nintendo. They have Mario, they have Zelda. So whatever hardware they release, whatever potato they release for 10 years, whoever you are, if you want to say you have a Nintendo game, you must contend with the potato. And that's the reason why NVIDIA shines. That if it was AMD that got the call from Nintendo, they'd be shining because it doesn't matter what's under the hood. It's Nintendo's potato and you will contend with it.
I would say I think they're going to compete now with this new one because I mean we know DLSS is magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for it to be a foundational piece of the new Switch, again they were out there showing the Matrix Awakening running on Unreal Engine 5 with ray tracing on the new Switch. If NVIDIA makes it where whatever they put in the Switch is going to be able to deal with the next version of DLSS and the version after that. Like if they future-proof the software to be able to upgrade it to the next version of DLSS, I mean, dude, the Switch will be to run on their handheld. They're not going to go higher than 1080, right? In your hands, DLSS 3 is going to make it's going to like make you have the most beautiful looking graphics on the screen possible on something that small. And then you figure scaling to 4K is easy for DLSS 3 DLSS 3. It's like nothing. 60 at 4K is nothing. Like DLSS 3 now scales you higher than 60 most of the time. If you got a big, when you're rocking the 4090, it definitely takes you way higher.
But be clear though. If you it does, but look at the monster machine you have to contend with in order to get you there, right?
I'm thinking in scale. You know what I'm saying? So the 4090 takes me way beyond 60. So if they're doing 1080, right, as their main focus, or even 720, because we know that DLSS 3 can upscale in ultra performance mode a 720 image all the way up to, I think it's 8K at this point that they could do.
I'll meet you in the middle. You know what I think Nintendo's gonna do? I think they're gonna do 800p handheld and 1440p when you hook that sucker up to the TV. That's what I think they're gonna
upgrade.
do.
I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
I mean for sure. The thing that Nintendo's gonna nail 100% that they're gonna nail and everybody's gonna be pleased and happy with is that battery life. They know that battery life needs to be able to shine because that is the big. That is the key for them.
If that is the case, though, that means when you take your device on the go, it is not going to be as performant as you think it will, because unless Nintendo has geniuses in a lab somewhere and they've cracked the nut on battery technology, it's still going to be the sticking point, right? So that means
but they get like
DLSS.
3 hours, no?
No, yes, they do, but that's because they've figured out how to make a potato very performant, right?
Yeah.
They're not using very big hardware. Their devices barely have fans that spin, right? So they're able to get a lot out of that machine because they don't have to contend with heat. We're talking about DLSS. We're talking about new technology. What does that bring? It brings fan noise. It brings heat. It brings fast heat dissipation, which also brings lower battery life. So I say if that's the case, and if the rumors are to be believed, then that means when the device itself is like on the go, it's probably still as weak in its performance. Maybe the profile is 360 towards Xbox One. And then when you dock it in, it has more performance based on the dock it has, and then it'll give you that higher end performance. But even if it's mobile by itself, I don't know.
But even if you imagine, all right, so let's say that's the if you look, it gets between 3 to 4 hours, right? Depending on the game, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go ahead and let's say, all right, let's not have 3 to 4 hours. We're going to push the performance. And with all of our magic, if they can even get it to an hour and a half to 2 hours, that still stomps my ROG Ally.
They're not,
unless I put it into like the lower modes. Like I want to play this,
but I don't think
I'm out in 45 minutes.
So when I played ROG Ally, your ROG Ally is not optimized for performance, for longevity, right?
Yeah,
the game and the console are both not optimized for longevity. So you're playing a PC game which has a broad scale from as far high as a 4090 liquid cooled melt your face off to like a small build, right? And in addition to that, you're running full fat Windows, right? And that's where the unfortunate nature of the comparison comes in. Everyone will compare it, and you have every right to. But when you look at the speeds and the logistics of it, you're comparing a phone basically to a laptop. That's the comparison of the ROG Ally to the Switch. It's a phone to a laptop, and phones will last much longer because their processors, their SoCs, the whole thing is very streamlined for that one performance profile. Yeah. Whereas a laptop can do everything. But that means you also have to have a very big battery. You know what I mean?
And
I'm really expecting magic from that. I want.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Make it bigger. Give us a bigger battery. You know what I'm saying? Make the screen bigger. Give us a bigger battery.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what Nintendo's gonna do, if I can kind of predict what they're gonna do here, they're obviously gonna try to make the successor. They need it to be better because they can't release something and it not be an upgrade, right? So if we really think about what they can leverage here, they can definitely leverage. I would think that they would need to have a bump in resolution on handheld, and a bump in resolution when it's docked, right? Or else, what's the point of the console? You know what I'm saying? Right. So I do think, and I'll be very interested to see what they do. But if Nintendo has proven one thing, they are geniuses, and I think with them teaming up with Nvidia, I think that they do have, that's a good team. They make a very good team because they work well together. So let's see what happens, guys. Let's move on to the next great question. Thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, let me finish the other super chats because there are others.
Yes, of course. Go ahead. Here's the next.
So the next super chat, the man JD Gamer. Thank you so much for being here with a $2 super chat. He says, "SO to the panel, Starfield forever. Xbox is up, baby."
They really are. They really are. I mean, Starfield is the talk of the town, whether it's from people playing it or people not playing it. People still talking about it, which is crazy to me.
Xbox is on the come up, baby.
Yeah, that's good. Yes. And we got one more. We got JD Gamer, I think, is next.
Yep. Once again, JD Gamer, $5 super chat. What can we expect in terms of graphics and performance when all the special features of Xbox Series are unleashed, such as sampler feedback, SSD, and onward?
That's
that is basically what I have been. Yeah, I've been contending that. I mean, I'll tell you this: Starfield would have been running at 60 on the Series S had that been in use. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just that. I mean, that is all speculation on my part, sure. But after seeing it running on a PC right now and seeing all the various performance profiles that are available out there now, I'm very much convinced that, had this been profiled for Xbox from jump, it would run 60 on Series S, no issue.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that we're gonna get a sneak peek, guys, coming up real soon, because some of the stuff I heard through videos today and from what I saw, Forza Motorsport, guys, looks pretty impressive. Everyone that has had hands on is pretty impressed. And Kay Asante, here's a funny little note that I wrote here for us. The community is at arms again, going back and forth on what I deemed last week as Walmart ray tracing. So the console warriors are going back and forth, going at it for the Walmart version of ray tracing. So that's that's funny. So
now you got to stop that, man. You're triggering
man?
people with your ridiculousness. Come on now.
Come on, man. You know me, man. I speak from the heart, man. You know how it is. We got Mr. Joanna Dark is saying that he's trolling me in there somewhere. So I got to look back to see what he said, because I got to get him back. So, guys, we're about 36 minutes into the show. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight. C Money, let's get into our first topic, which is to get to know you a little bit. I know that you basically, I know you game everywhere, right? You're not a missionary gamer like that
not a missionary gamer.
Ain't no missionary gamers here, okay? So that's good. All right, so let's talk to me a little bit about your history, in gaming. I know that you're heavily invested more obviously on the Xbox ecosystem. I think it's no secret that everybody here kind of leans that way as well. But you told me and Kay in the green room that you have primarily this generation been gaming on PC. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. It's been maybe since I had the 2080. From when I got the 2080, I pretty much always play on my PC, regardless, because I am, as they say, or maybe I don't know if I could say the word, but I'm a graphics horse without the S. You know what I'm saying?
I think we all are in some way.
But I'm like all about it, right? So like I don't care where it is. When I play a game, I want it to look the best possible. Now, I make concessions, right? Because if I know I'm going to go play on my handheld because time, then I know that I'm not. But just in general, right? If I'm going to sit down and have some time that I could sit there and actually play, yeah, absolutely, I want to play the best that it could possibly look. So I have a 4090, I had a 3090, and I'll probably have a 5090 whenever that comes out, just because I want it to look the best. So like when Forza Motorsport comes out, I'm not worried about 1080p with ray tracing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be 4K 60, maybe 120, looking gorgeous, right? Like that's just what it is. I always prefer, but I mean I think I'm this way because I've been through the whole time of gaming appreciating every time something looked better, back from all the way to the Mario, on the NES, which was my first console, and then just kind of going up. Nintendo 64 was like, oh my god, what a big advancement, right? And then PlayStation 2, and then Xbox, and then it's just like it just keeps getting better, and like it's never enough for me. Like I want to play a game where I'm looking at the screen and I think like it just looks like I'm controlling people, like real people, not like game versions.
So right now, Jim Ryan is actually listening to the show, taking notes. See Money, let me advertise to him, and the NVIDIA boys are looking at you there. So, Kay, I'm a little jealous of the man. He also said he has a 4090 like yourself. You guys are the 4090 brothers here. I'm the little brother with the 4070.
There you go. That's still big.
Let me ask you and Kay this question to see if you guys can tackle this a little bit. So, C Money, you said that you've gone through like what year did you start gaming on PC? Because Kay's been doing it for a while. I'm a newbie when it comes to this space.
So I built my first. Well, I didn't build it. I bought my first PC ever, which was Digital Storm made it for me. It was $5,000. And it was in 2010.
Wow. Okay, so you've been on PC for about 13 years already.
But that's like me. Like I had an Alienware laptop when I was younger in school, but I didn't really, I didn't really play on PC like that. It's since 2010 I've had it. Now I'm not like I wasn't like I'm not a PC guy. It's weird, right? Like I identify as an Xbox guy. I just play the Xbox games on my PC.
Oh, so you're all about the ecosystem. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like where me and Kay, I don't want to speak for you, but it's kind of like where we reside now, where the ecosystem has become the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Game Pass,
exactly.
and I mean, they're PC, whether you're playing on PC or the console, it's kind of like you're on Xbox. It doesn't matter if you're on the cloud or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So Kay, what do you think about tell me what you think about C Money here investing into the latest and greatest? Because I wish I was part of the 4090 crew, so you guys can relate more than I can.
No, I mean, like for me, you get what you need when you need it, and then once you're there and you got what you think you wanted, you close your eyes to the rest. Because if you don't, they're gonna keep you on the string every year. Oh, get this new one and get that new one. That's what they do, right? But so okay, to really, even though most people don't see the gray beard today, to really call myself out, my first PC, I think I built my first PC in '94. The first PC I built, which wasn't mine because I couldn't afford it at the time, I was building it for other people. I built my first PC in '94. But my own PC that was mine was 98. I was 19 at the time. Yes, nice. 98 was my first PC. And yes, it was a piece of crap, but we endured.
Did you game on it
over the years?
Was it for gaming?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've been gaming on old PCs forever. Like that's basically how you were able to play Flight Sim forever, right? Until recently, that was the only way you could actually play Flight Sim. Yeah. So yeah, I've been gaming on PC for a very long time. I enjoy my technology. I love my VR and all of that. So the only game in town to game on VR properly, even now, is on PC. So I had to have a
PlayStation VR 2 is up there now.
It's all right. It's all right. I appreciate that. I appreciate that it exists. The PSVR 2. I appreciate that it's there and it's good. I'm not denying that. But my problem is, even now, a game that's on PSVR 2, I can play on my PC and it looks better. So
no, for sure.
Concessions
the
everywhere.
Headset, the headset is my favorite, comfortability wise.
Sure.
You put VR2
on that, I agree. Yeah,
it's definitely more comfortable than anything else I've had.
Yeah.
I've also been, since the original Oculus, when that was coming and popping. I bought the first Oculus, and I've also been into the VR game, but then I kind of stopped. Like I feel like there was a lot of momentum for VR.
Yeah.
Where it was pumping and things were getting exciting, and then it just kind of stopped.
Out. Yeah.
They made the mistake of going into the mobile space. They made the mistake of, oh well, maybe people will like it mobile, and that's basically a heading towards the bottom, right? Like you have to have a Tesla Model S and a Model X first before you get the Model 3. You don't start with the 3, right?
That's true.
Yep.
And obviously,
because innovation dies then.
That's right. Exactly. Right. They had the X, they have the S, and then they put that into the 3, right?
Yeah.
Because they went too quickly into the Quest area, right? Innovation kind of died there because we're still in the place where mobile chips aren't that great. You still got to give it 2, 3, 4 years before it becomes, almost Series S like in its performance in the mobile space. So I think that's probably where you saw that. But no, I appreciate that we're a bunch of old heads here. What I will say though, the question I will ask, and I'll ask C Money, I'll see what you think of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that over the years, and in varying degrees, I see people in the chat, I see y'all in here, you guys can answer as well. In varying degrees, as console gaming has become very popular, the PC space is now, whether for better or for worse, is kind of following suit a little bit. Have you seen that?
Yeah, actually, absolutely. I mean, honestly, it's mostly just the frame rate bump for us now. Like outside of ray tracing, right? It's frame rate and ray tracing. That's really our bump now. because it's the same boat as VR actually. Like now that the consoles are so popular, they are first, for the most part, and then you're just getting a better version on the PC versus the opposite way, where back in the day, the big, like, beautiful, amazing games like Crisis and all that stuff, that was on PC only, and then they had to, like, dumb it down, right? But that's not the plan anymore. Now they go first to most likely PlayStation, and then, well, PC is first. Kirby says PC is first because they're making it on the PC, but they're still
the optimization part comes in where the console and it's no secret that because of PlayStation being the market leader, that's where they're going to spend and send all the text to first, because they need to get the one that they believe is the one that's going to make them the most money up front. That's kind of like the front and center, that from a business perspective, and then obviously PC, and then Xbox kind of get the scraps, unfortunately. But let's let me ask you, and I'm sorry to cut you off, C-Money. Were you done with your comment there?
No, no, that's all. It was the same.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me ask you this. First of all, shout out to Slow-Mo. I see you there, sir. We have a DM, Kay Asante, with a bunch of guys. Slow-Mo's in there. He's always making us laugh, man. So Slow-Mo, what's your favorite DLC, by the way? That's a conversation we were having. And I also want to say what's up to Dreadpool. I saw him earlier today. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me ask you something, C-Money, and this will piggyback off what Kay Asante is saying now. For myself, right, to tell you a little bit about my journey here, the game that broke the camel's back per se for me was Redfall. Okay, and what I mean by that is that I was already getting my hands dirty with the PC stuff, but I still didn't consider myself a primary PC gamer like I do now. And that's the game that I said, no more. I remember I went on Boom Show complaining, bitching, saying, I can't believe that the game's only going to be 30 frames. This is unacceptable, yada, 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 yada. Me and Kay, we had a conversation on that show. We had a conversation the next day. And what did I do? I went out, I upgraded my graphics card. I got a 4070. And I think that was the breaking point when I realized that going forward, I'm always going to be console also. I'm all of us here on this show, and the majority of the people listening, we're going to get as much as we can afford, right? Even I have a Series S. Okay, I have an Xbox Series X. Why do I need both? I don't, but I have them just because I'm a gamer and I want them. You know what I'm saying? So we're always going to get the consoles. But for me, after seeing all the benefits that me and Kay Asante have talked to through almost 15 episodes now, okay? We're officially 12, but we did a few before. I've really come to appreciate PC and what it offers gamers, and I wish that more console-centric gamers were kind of peek behind the curtain like I did and really see the benefits of it, right? So I think that for the hardcores like us, are the sweaties, I think that PC is becoming the go-to from here on out. I think that people will start more than ever now saving for a PC so that when that new generation hits, they have the latest and greatest PC so that they can be ready for the next gen. That's what I think. I think that's the boom of PC that I see coming. And that not only from the things that I hear, but also looking at my own family members and interacting with the people at work. I get asked the most about PC. Kids, for the most part, they don't want to play anymore on Switches. Yes, it's very popular. Yes, it's the best-selling console per se, but I see more kids being geared towards that PC space. Like now they want to play, Fortnite on PC. They're okay. Hey, kids will play on anything you give them, but if you take them to the store and say, hey, go wild, pick whatever you want, I do see a majority, especially in your teenage years, I see them gravitating towards the PC space. I don't know if you two guys feel the same way about that.
So, for me, go ahead, C-Money. No, you first, please.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that free to play is still huge, right? Your Fortnites and Robloxes and things of that nature. And I mean, if you're a, you know, person who has a PC, right, and your kids are talking about wanting to play Fortnite, you know, you don't necessarily have to say, all right, well, let me go get you an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch to do that. It's just like, okay, we'll go play right there, right? Maybe I gotta go get you a controller or something like that, right? So I think it's becoming that. I think it's that way because of the rise of the free to play, and since most people already have a PC and most free to play games are not super demanding on the PC itself, I think it's just like the least passive of resistance, right? It's just like, okay, we have it here, go ahead and play your game, right? Especially for if that's the gaming that they're doing. And obviously we know if we're talking like raw numbers and we get out of our Twitter bubble, like the majority of people are playing Fortnite and Genshin Impact and all those other games on PC if they don't have a console, right? Like that's just what it is. So if they're playing those games anyway, why invest in it, right? I mean, I know damn sure if I wasn't a hardcore gamer like I am, what's up, Ham? How you doing, brother? I wouldn't even I would never buy my kids a console if they were just coming at me saying, "Hey, I want to play Fortnite or I want to play, Roblox," right? Like, what's the point? Like, why am I gonna spend that money? I just think it's the easiest.
See, but I will say though, to the point that you just made with Roblox, and actually to what John was saying about the kids will play wherever you ask them to play, right? A lot of kids play on tablets because that's where their game of choice is. My kids, for example, play most of their game of choice, which now happens to be Minecraft, on their tablets, on their iPad, right? They see it on the Xbox. They see that I have it on the Xbox. They have it everywhere else, and they'll play it if I give it to them. But specifically on Xbox, and I have little kids, so and I've said this to Microsoft people before, and I will say it on this air again, and I'll keep saying it until Microsoft makes some corrections. Because the controllers are too big for their little hands, automatically the Abacus wins. The Switch wins because their hands are too big, too small for those huge controllers.
You're not wrong.
They end up not playing it. They end up not playing on the console until they get to a certain level, right? That's why the Switch automatically wins, because that's the one for their little hands. You hear me talk smack about the Switch all day, but in my household, that thing gets played more than anything else because of the size of the controllers, because I have little kids, right? But I guess the point I'm trying to make with them is at the end of the day, if you get them where they play, where they want to play it, they will continue playing it. That is the reason why recently we heard that news story about Roblox losing coming on PlayStation 5. That's why I think that is a very big deal.
How wasn't that there before? That news kind of shocked me.
Yeah. It's shocking because Xbox didn't sing it from the rooftops. How do you not?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So two things. One, the reason why it hasn't been there for a long time is it's all rumor and speculation. So please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But it's been rumored and speculated that Microsoft has been backing them monetarily from a development standpoint for a little while. So they helped develop the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Reason two why it would not be screamed from the rooftops is, what is the number one competing product of this thing? Minecraft, which is owned by Microsoft. So you kind of can't tout your competitor like screaming from the rooftops when you're competing directly with it. So they've kind of just been taking this quiet L for years, just sitting in the back counting their checks because this thing prints money. So to the point I'm making, when it coming to Nintendo, to PlayStation is a big deal. It's a big deal because like you say, John Wolf, the kids will play wherever you happen to throw it at them. And for a long time, that was not the biggest pool, which is the PlayStation. Now it is. Right. It's a big deal.
That kind of makes sense. So let me ask you this, C Money. Where do you? I know that you have you have 6 kids, right? Where do you see the majority from your oldest to your youngest playing? I mean, will they just, because my daughter's primarily iPad. She wants Roblox on iPad. If I try to give her the Xbox controller, like Kay Asante said, she looks at it like if it's some weird alien technology that I just gave her. She wants nothing to do with controller, right? Everything to do with touchscreen, and like Kay says, the Switch. She has the little pink Switch Lite. She has one, and that's what she plays Mario Kart with, and Animal Crossing. But nothing with controllers. She's a big fan of. So where do you see the range of your kids? Kind of like, are they any PC heads that you see coming up, or what do you see from your own family?
There are 0 PC heads coming up because they are not into that. They each have a gaming laptop, not the little ones. I'm sorry. Let me be clear. My older ones, I bought them gaming laptops so that just in case they ever wanted to dabble into the PC gaming space. Nope, they don't even look that way.
Oh, but you bought it for productivity though. That's the first.
Yeah, well, for them to do what they have to do. But I figure, hey, by the way, Dad has a lot of Steam games. If you want to, play something, we got a Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? But no, they don't care. So basically, in my house, you have, because of the age split, right? Like, obviously, I'm an Xbox head, and I always push the Xbox in front of them, so I have like Xboxes everywhere, right? So my kids, they are used to the Xbox controller, but my wife is a big Nintendo head, and so the Switch is there as well. So the kids literally, they have like a fine balance between Xbox and Switch. Like, they'll sit there on their Switch, play their things, but then my girls would, go play the Xbox, and they'll play, Human Falls Flat, or they love Cuphead and things like that. Like, they just go. And so, I mean, yeah, the controller is big for their hands because they're tiny, but I don't know, they make it work.
Yeah.
But
so
they do it. They know how much I love Xbox, so they
can I tell you all the story? Let me tell you all the story real quick about this whole big hand controller thing. Okay, so my son, one of his favorite games ever, and I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's on everything at this point, so you probably have heard of it. It's called Piku Niku. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a platformer.
I've never heard of it.
It's basically
the
like
red and yellow. The red and yellow things with the long legs. Oh, yeah, the girls play that too.
That's right. Piku Niku. My son, my 4-year-old son, in love with this game, to the point where it started with, I don't understand it, until now I am a god among men when I have the controller in my hand. This boy, he will, he is like all over the place. He loves this game, right? There was a part in the game that requires you to have memory. Like, remember the button combinations, right? It's basically you're doing a dance off against the robot on the screen. It's basically your Dance Dance Revolution mechanic, right? And he plays this thing on the Switch, because on the Switch, his little hands can deal with it, right? On the console, he asked Dad to help him, and of course, Dad can beat it for him on the console. But I could never beat it for him on the Switch because the button layout is not my button layout. If you know the Xbox's button layout, you will never be able to switch your brain off to be able to do the Nintendo's version the same way.
Oh, so you want to mod the buttons like the PlayStation boys were modding it? And
well, guess what happened? Guess what happened?
I see.
Guess what happened? Remember I told you about that?
I got it.
Battery pack. There's this battery pack that you can buy for your Xbox. Exactly. And this battery pack turns your Xbox controller, your normal Xbox controller, into a Switch capable controller.
It's phenomenal.
And all the button layout is normal and everything else. And because I was able to do that, now of course the button layout is my button layout, my Xbox button layout. I was able to beat it for him, and the joy in his face, the excitement. The guy had been trying to beat that level for 3 years, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a cool story, man. And let me tell you, here's a funny story, right? Since we're kind of like all family men on the show, and I'm sure that there's a bunch of family men also listening. One of the all-time favorite stories that I have with my dad, because right now we don't really have a relationship where we talk on a normal basis, But one of the stories that I remember the most about my dad is sitting around the same age as your son, Kay, maybe a little bit older, a couple of years older. But my dad helping me out in the original Super Mario game. Mario Brothers for NES. I still remember that to this day, dude. I remember also playing on Genesis, the baseball game, and I would get so upset because he would strike me out. And dude, what you're building there are just memories that are gonna last a lifetime, Kay. And that's awesome, man. That's the best story I've heard all day, man. Honestly, that's great to hear. and I'm seeing I see Ham Solo. He says I'm looking at Lenovo. Oh, I think Lenovo has a potential customer, and if you do pick that up, sir, well, we don't want you on the show only for that, but you know that we'll send you an invite. But we would really want to talk to you because we'd like to pick your brain anytime, guys. Anyone out there in the chat, that if you guys pick up one of these handheld devices and you want to come on the show and talk about it, send me or Kay a DM. We're always looking to talk, guys. And check this out, guys. So my little one, right? She, like I mentioned before, she wants nothing to do with anything with controllers, right? But we were in Best Buy a couple of weekends ago, and we happened to pass by the kiosk where the ROG Ally is. I see money. Have you seen that? I know Kay has. Have you seen that? See money where how they're kind of showing off the Asus ROG Ally in Best Buy?
I have not seen it in Best Buy. No.
Well, they have it front and center in the PC section. When
nice.
You pass by there, they have it front and center, for people to demo the device or whatever. I was shocked that when we passed by there, it caught my daughter's attention. And I think that, to piggyback kind of what I was saying, where PC gaming is heading, I think that these handheld devices are going to also help cater that, because Nintendo hit it out of the park with the Switch. Okay, they've always been the king of handheld, but they took it up an extra level, in my opinion, with the Switch by kind of combining that console, can be docked, but it's also handheld thing. That little hybrid thing that they did was genius, and we're seeing where that's going now. So I think that handheld is also going to piggyback this rise that I kind of see with the youth when it comes to PC gaming. So let's transition, guys, because we're about an hour in. Good chat, guys. I love having these types of chats and getting to know everybody better. Absolutely. Guys, let's talk Starfield, the main event. All right, because I properly named the show No Going Back. And Kay, you want to know why I named it that?
Why is that, sir?
Oh man, have you seen some of these mods coming out for Starfield, man? I mean, after you've played with some of these mods and you kind of see this stuff, and you're playing on that Series S or that Series X, you're like, what am I doing with my life? Why aren't I on my PC right now? Because there's no going back, guys. And don't get me wrong, Starfield, I've played it on the Series X, I want to say for about 2 hours in my 40 plus hours. So not a lot of time. But what I did play from it, it was an enjoyable experience, very, very solid. I did see the drop off a little bit, obviously with the frame rate, but I think that some of the stuff that they did with the motion blur kind of helps that set that off after a little while. Talk to me, guys, about. I'll start with you, C-Money. Some of the talk to me about how many hours have you played this game so far? Let's start with that.
So I think I'm like 20. I don't know. Probably close to 24 or 23 hours into it.
And how much of that has been on PC?
Probably about 14 hours of it.
14 hours of it. Okay, and then let me ask Kay real fast. Let me ask you the same question.
ROG Ally counts as PC, no? So
yes, yeah, sure.
Yes, it does.
I lied. So it's probably like 20 hours.
20 hours combined?
Between like actual PC and then handheld PC,
yeah.
Or the rest has been on. I played a little bit on the Xbox, and then I do some cloud gaming on it on the G Cloud. When my ROG Ally dies, you know what I'm saying? I got to put it down. I'm not done with Starfield. Gotta go grab the G Cloud and hop on the cloud. You know what I'm saying?
My man is not a missionary gamer. That's what I'm talking about. How about you, Kay? How much time you think you put into how much time have you put into Starfield, and how much of that has been between the different devices you own?
So I can tell you right now, based on what I'm looking at right now.
What's up, Dave?
Let's see. I have 3 days, 13 hours, and 38 minutes.
Oh, no wonder you've been off the grid, man. You're traveling the galaxies out there.
Well, but why that is because I, like the great guest we have here, C Money, have been traversing these universes on the ROG Ally.
Nice.
There you go.
Okay, so how many hours
it's
you
always
put into the ROG Ally?
I would say of the 3 days or whatever, I'd say maybe an hour of it is Xbox, like proper Xbox.
Wow, so less than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would say the breakdown is probably 60-40% big PC. ROG Ally to big PC. So most of my gaming of this game has been on the Ally.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
but are you playing it like full, like beefy mode on the ROG Ally, or do you play like 15 watts or something like that?
He said beefy mode on the ROG Ally. So first and foremost,
COG beefy mode.
Stop it! I knew he was gonna do that. So what I've been doing, and you know, those who know me know that I'm a begrudging fan of the ROG Ally. I play specifically this game. I have to play it plugged in. I'm not playing it. I have to play it plugged in because it's just too choppy when you're not playing it plugged in. Yeah, you can get away with it in performance mode, but I'm playing it plugged in. And if you don't play it plugged in and you put it in turbo mode, you're playing it for 20 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, it's literally 45 minutes. That's it.
Shout out to
That's
the
like
man
the max.
Pixel G. What's up?
And this is why, and yes, I advocated for it, and then I lost the Silicon Lottery. One of mine didn't work. But I have the AOK Zoe, the A1 Pro, which is basically the same thing as the ROG Ally, except 65 watt-hour battery. That's what starts in that ROG Ally. So even if you set all these parameters, it's basically the ROG Ally competitor. If you set the same parameters, excuse me, you get way longer battery life because it has a bigger battery and a bigger screen. Yeah, 8-inch screen. Yeah. You know, from jump. So I'm waiting for my new one to come back to me, and then I will most likely shift over to the Zoe A1 Pro to play it. But no, I will say, for those who say it's a bad experience, I disagree. Even now on the Ally, you know, you set it to 720p, you set it to RSR, you know, I'm doing a low medium mix, you know, and it runs really well, you know. I keep the frame rate in the middle of 40s there, and you're good to go.
Are you doing 720? You guys are doing 720, right?
Yes, I'm doing 720. Yes, the footage you're seeing right now on the screen right now.
720.
Yes, you should do 720. 720 will get you 45 frames per second, something like that. And then the Ally's VRR screen will take the rest, and it'll be smooth. Right.
Nice.
So, by the way, Mr. Wolf, and the chat, the visuals you're seeing on your screen are early in the game. I played it multiple times on my channel right now, doing it that way, so because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But what's also interesting is, Mr. Wolf, this footage was recorded with FSR standard, the FSR that came with it. Okay. I have now since then applied the DLSS mod with frame generation, and I have set the VSync off, and I'm getting like 200 plus frames per second.
Oh, we gotta talk after the show, because I tried the Vortex.
It's monstrous.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll definitely chop it up after. So let me ask you guys this, and I'll start with C Money. We saw the a lot of interviews for Starfield, and we've seen the media and the fanboys kind of be exposed these past couple of weeks with this game. It's been very polarizing. I think some of it has been, you know, there's been a small minority that have had fair criticisms of the game. You know, I think that, you know, criticizing something is always important because you want things to improve, right? And nothing in the world, there's no product in the world, game, consumer electronics device, or anything that is ever perfect. So feedback is always welcomed, as long as it's not petty stuff, you know, that we see a lot of stuff. Let me ask you guys, C Money, what do you think about the interview with Phil Spencer and Todd Howard, where supposedly the most important question that was picked out was, why didn't Bethesda optimize this game? And I'll go when it's my turn. I'll kind of give my thoughts. But C-Money, what do you think about the question, first of all? And do you agree with, I guess, the audience that chimed in with that question to Todd Howard? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that is when I heard that, I was dumbfounded. Like, how? Like, what? We were talking about it on our podcast on Saturday, and it's like that is such a troll ass question, because you know that it's false. I play on the PC and it runs gloriously. It runs amazingly. Now, okay, I have a 4090. I don't know what that means compared to the majority of people out there, but I'm pretty sure that also means that they're not expecting it to be 4K, super high frame rate, right? You know what your card can do, but I haven't seen any of that. And I just feel like it's such an incredibly stupid question to ask when you have Todd Howard and Phil Spencer there on the launch of their game. You can go and ask them anything, and they try. First of all, I don't even believe that was an audience question. That is a lie. That dude is the guy who made up those questions, right?
So you're saying Jim Ryan, he phoned in the question.
He called a friend. Called a friend and had him ask the question.
Oh, I got it.
Because it was stupid. It was stupid.
Okay,
I don't understand the way this game is being talked about. I don't know, man. I forgot. I think I was on the Fix with Umbra, and I'm not a reviewer, right? I don't review games. I just experience them, right? I play them and I experience them, and very rarely do I find the need to dissect it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm playing something, I'm very rarely in the middle. I either there's 3 levels. I don't like the game, I think the game is fine, and then I love the game, right? And that's pretty much my scale, right? And that's where that's it, because I don't really play games that I know I'm not gonna like, right? So I'm not, unless it's a Halo RTS, I'm not going to play an RTS or a Gears RTS, right? So I'm not going to go and put myself in a situation where I'm playing a real-time strategy game when I know I don't like them, right? But something like this, I don't even see the people, the bug-eyed the side characters, the NPCs, where they have all these pictures now with that they're all, the eyes are crazy and stuff.
Yeah, some are a little rough around the edges. Yeah.
I can tell you that until I saw it on Twitter, I never even saw that. Everything I've seen, I just walk by NPCs unless there's somebody that's important. I don't just walk up to NPCs and just stare at them, right? I'm role playing my game, right? I wouldn't do that in real life. I'm just gonna keep it moving, right? I just go where I need to go, and all the main people you need to talk to look amazing, and all those NPCs, they look great for being side clutter, right? It looks like there's people in the world. I like to feel like there's people in the world. We're good to go. I just don't know where people have the energy, but I do know, right? Because it's disingenuous, right? For the most part, not everyone, right? Some people, like you said, John, people do want to, be able to have critiques that are fine, and that's cool.
Yeah, it depends on which individual is giving you the feedback. You know what I'm saying? Because there are, unfortunately, throughout the community and throughout Twitter, there are agendas, I guess you can say, that everyone has, and some people don't, for some reason, don't give props. It's hard for them just to give props to something, and just say, hey, it's a great game, this and that, or whatever the case may be, but sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, C-Money, finish your thoughts.
No, it's fine, but that's the thing. Now, the one thing I will say for me, and it's not a complaint of the game per se, but it's the situation. I don't know if you guys have dealt this, especially Kay, because I know we've been going back and forth with the ROG Ally and the regular desktop PC.
You guys are just laughing at everybody. You guys are just we got 4090s, man. What are these people crying about?
But no, it's more so I feel like I've been having a sync issue. I don't know I don't know what's going on with it, but sometimes it won't sync. If let's say I just my ROG Ally is dying, I want to hop to something else, it won't sync up. So
wait a second. And Kay, is he referring to syncing on your cloud save? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's cloud
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
So that is a thing that is known. It's happening around a bit. I can tell you that it's happened to me a little bit. What I've done to mitigate it is, specifically if I'm playing on the Xbox, for example, I will not put it on quick resume, right? And before I leave my game, I will always save, like manually save.
Yep.
Oh, quick
Like
save.
Yes, not quick save. No,
No.
I will
actual
go
save.
in and I will save and make sure that it is the last save there, so that the next time I go in, no matter what it takes, I will get that save back. But I have noticed, like you,
Is there a way to force it to sync to the cloud, like the Xbox? Is there a way to force the Xbox to sync to the cloud?
yeah. You can place files in the cloud, or you can like remove stuff from the cloud. There's a process in the Xbox. I haven't done it in a while. I don't know if the UI has changed too much for it to happen, but you could go into your cloud account, if you will, and remove files.
All right.
JD,
Yeah. Because
we'll get to your super chat in a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
We'll be reading a few of those. Yes.
I save it, and then it's like I went because like my wife was gonna play some Starfield, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna hop off. I was gonna hop off the screen, and I gave it to my wife so she could play on the big screen. I was like, all right, I hop on the Ally, and then I hop on the Ally, and I'm like, dude, I'm like freaking an hour back. Like,
Oh,
why?
wow.
And it says like it does it like it says it's taking too long to sync.
Yep.
So do you want to like sync your other stuff? It's like, no, I don't want to sync the other stuff because I didn't play the other stuff.
That. I've been very lucky, and I've bounced from the Xbox to the 4070 to the ROG Ally to the ROG Ally hooked up to the eGPU, and not one time. I do notice that on the Xbox app, PC app, it does take a little bit to sync the save, but I've been lucky and I haven't ran into that. So I think I've been pretty lucky. Let's get to a super chat real fast, Case, so that JD's been very generous today. Go ahead, Kate.
So JD Gamer, $5 super chat. He says, off topic. Is it me, or is Google turning into a pile of crap, or is that Bing? Is it just that Bing has gotten much better? Is ChatGPT turning a turning point in search? Sir, I could not agree more with you.
Dude,
I have noticed that.
I use it all the time. Bing is my thing.
Really?
Bing used to be my process of search used to be you Bing it first, you get disappointed at the fact that it doesn't have what you need, and then you Google it. But since ChatGPT, I Bing it and it gives me what I need, because more often than not, it gives me exactly what I need.
I'm
not
trained.
a roundabout idea.
I'm a missionary search engine guy.
Oh,
I've been trained for Google. Like I even like when somebody asks me a question at work, I literally tell them, if I don't know the answer, Google it, because I just don't know the answer.
See,
so
you're an Xbox gamer.
Bro.
You should be playing
exactly.
You should be on Bing all day. Get them points.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
I have it up at work all the time. I constantly have to search things for like permits and things like that. It's just like boom.
Yep.
There you go. Got me some points. See that number go up. Let me search for something else.
Google's got me trained like kind of like these PS boys, where they think that an over-the-shoulder game is, the only type of game that exists.
Bro, I don't care how Google has got you trained. Imagine every day you search and you don't think about it, and then at the end of a console generation, you have enough money to buy a new console.
Yeah, I mean,
that has happened to people.
Yeah,
Facts.
I can't believe I haven't really thought about it like that.
Just swap it, bro. Just go into there and make Bing your default search engine, and you're good, bro.
I think I have never used Bing in my life. I swear to God.
Oh, come on.
It works.
And to
It works well.
and to JD's point, we used to use it back when it was crap, but now it's actually pretty darn good. So now's the time to use it.
Come on, guys. I'm new in the PC space. Come on, guys. What do you want me? What do you want from me here? Okay, I'm getting over opening up all these launchers. All right, I'll move on. I'll move now into the search
you know what?
engine,
You know what? We'll
open my horizon.
Let's talk about that one afterwards. But let me get this one first.
Yeah, sure.
JD Gamer, $2 super chat. Thanks again, JD. He says, Switch 2 rumors have it between a Series S and a PS5. Yeah. Honestly, that PS5 stuff is hogwash. There is no way a mobile processor will hit PS5. No,
it won't do it natively. I think DLSS is going to make it perform.
Sure, but even DLSS is not magic, right? It will allow them to upscale.
It is like magic. It feels like magic.
You know what's more magic? Frame generation. frame generation
Yes.
is more magic than DLSS.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
frame generation, you need a powerful monster to get frame generation to get it done. Even modding frame generation into things will not allow it to work unless you're on a 40 series card. Like,
Yeah, but
you
what if
need that-
NVIDIA designs the card specifically
right there.
to
Sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
the ones making
Yeah.
the switch, right? So they're
Absolutely.
supplying for other people this technology, right? But if it's them with their chip being able to say, all right, we're going to offset the power of this chip
So-
because we're purposely building it to use DLSS in this way.
So the reason why I'm more negative Nancy on it than you are is because in order for them to do that, that means they'd have to put actual cores that were dedicated to it. That's the secret sauce. That's why John Wolf compares DLSS to FSR, and DLSS always wins because DLSS has dedicated dedicated cores that are there for the purposes of that, right? So if you want to do that in the Switch, you're gonna have to put dedicated cores into the Switch for that purpose, right? Not saying that's not possible, but are we really thinking that Nintendo is going to charge you $500 for their console? $600? I don't know about Nintendo, but I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah, but will it cost that much at their scale? Because you might be, you're thinking PC pricing because they
we're
they
thinking
don't do the same scale.
Of course, NVIDIA pricing. But even there's a reason why only Nintendo uses NVIDIA. It's not because they're special, because NVIDIA does not give you a discount. Whereas AMD gives you discounts everywhere. That's why both competitors use.
I think I know where I think Nintendo's gonna land at a $399 price point. Because
you think so?
I think so because I think that from a strategic standpoint, they saw that a $299 Switch will sell like butter, and a $349 Switch will sell as well. And I think that if they can sell this thing, to be the next, big thing in their world, I think that they'll ask $399 for it. I really do. Now
I also don't think they're getting rid of the Switch.
No, I mean,
I agree with you.
Switch,
the Switch will still be around. Yep, I do agree.
That's they're gonna stay their $299 price point, and then they come in at $399 with their bigger ticket and more beefy system.
So before I read this next super chat, another question about the Switch. Do you think if you own Tears of the Kingdom now that you will have to pay for it again on the new version?
Come on, Kay. Come on.
So I honestly,
really,
I gotta tell you,
I see money. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like Nintendo. Okay, like we gotta remember, it's been almost 7 years since they launched the Switch, right? You gotta remember that the CEO of Nintendo, the person who runs Nintendo, is not the same person who was running it before.
Things have changed. Things have changed.
Things have changed, absolutely. Right? And just like if you asked us, months ago or whatever, did we ever think Final Fantasy 14 was ever going to come to Xbox? We would say the hell it is because they're not giving us anything. Meanwhile, Square gets a new CEO, and who's on stage shaking hands with Phil Spencer talking about we're getting Final Fantasy 14 and every other Switch, Square game.
You're thinking that they're coming into the future because they have new people at the helm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think things change. You know what I'm saying?
I got something. I got something to tell
you.
You know what Nintendo likes more than new CEOs and everything? They like money. And
that's right.
And you know what Nintendo found out this generation with the Switch? That they can sell you the Wii U games, for full price one more time. They're gonna do it.
They found out that they can sell you cardboard.
Yes.
Why would they want to sell you more than that?
Remember this too, because we talk about things not changing. I was actually having this discussion with my son on our show on Saturday because he believes that Nintendo's always Nintendo. And it's like, this is the thing. If you remember before 3DS, before the Switch, if you had a 3DS or a DS, how many times have you bought Mario in your life? Mario 3 or Mario 1 or however many, right? You went to the eShop, and every time a new system came out, you were buying another one, right? But they've gotten rid of that this gen. Now you're paying for multiplayer. So let's put that in perspective. Everybody plays for multiplayer. So Xbox, PlayStation, you got to pay if you want to play on multiplayer, right? So Switch is saying, okay, pay for the multiplayer, right? Single person is what, $20 a year, and they're giving you Nintendo Switch Online, which has all of those classics, all of them, in one subscription. All of the classics, right?
Yeah,
and they keep adding to it.
I see the evolution, and I see them dipping
Yeah,
their toe in the subscription model.
Growth starts somewhere, right? So obviously, right now you look at it and say, well, it can't be. That's why I think they're going to be the name of the Switch is going to be the Switch 2, because I feel like they're not going to do any goofy shit anymore.
I'll meet you somewhere in the middle. How about this? How about, I believe that if the system is capable of doing Breath of the Wild at 60 frames per second and higher resolution, they'll put it in that subscription service, and they'll make you pay the subscription for you to have access to it, because they're going to want to monetize it. I believe that that's what they're going to want to do. I don't think that they're going to do what Xbox did and what the PC does, which, hey, you have more powerful hardware, like magic, it automatically works. I don't think.
Yeah, but remember,
that they're
getting in bed. They're getting in bed. Nintendo and Xbox are getting in bed, and they are doing things that we never thought. Right? They're going to get Call of Duty for 10 years on the Switch. Right?
You know what, C Money? I think we have a person in the chat who will really appreciate you on this show. Yeah, and that is Mr. Joanna Dark. I see.
I'm not even a Nintendo dude. I just see the future.
You see the goodness. You see the goodness in them.
I love the optimism.
Well, because I remember the past, man. They were the shit. You know, they pushed. They were the ones who created all the what we know as gaming to be popular. You know what I'm saying?
But eventually, they realized that it was not monetarily advantageous for them to stay tip of the spear. Right?
Think about that. Just think about that for a second, right? Mm-hmm. Would they honestly, if money was the only thing that they were worried about, do you really believe that they would come up with all these stupid ass different ideas when they could just stick to what they know is going to sell? Well, they always came up with some weird ass shit.
But hold on now. Yeah, hold on now. So, but here's the thing. The reason, if you think about it, the reason why they came up with the weird stuff is because once you come up with that weird stuff, like you do in the Wii space, in the Wii U space, which, by the way, mine's still over here. I still love my Wii U, and I will have no slander about it.
No, it was a great.
All of a sudden,
great system.
All of a sudden, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you don't have third-party support. You can be your own unique device, do your unique thing, and nobody can look at you and go, "Oh, well, they don't get support." Oh, no, they're different. Man.
That IP is
right.
Yeah,
but that's what they did. That's what they did to get out of the pool, right? In order for them to not have to deal with the fact that EA won't support you or Ubisoft won't support you, make something completely different that EA and Ubisoft don't have any bearing on at all. So then when they don't support you, you go, yeah, because they're doing something different. Nintendo noticed that it was in their best interest not to play the same game as Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
And they've been winning ever since.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, not the Wii U though. You know what I'm saying? Not the Wii U.
Sure. Not the Wii U.
The
Wii U.
The Wii U was a black eye, and I think that was really their learning point. So I think that they have learned from that. But look,
it was their second black eye, right? Because the GameCube was their first black eye.
True.
Yeah, but
right?
It was still successful though. It had a place in the market where
where the
Wii U had no place.
It is true. Market. So after the GameCube mistake, they were all right. But after the Wii U, had they not released a Switch, they would have been in serious trouble.
I agree.
That's why I don't think they're going to mess around, man. I don't think they. I think
that's why Switch 2. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be Switch 2 because they can't be silly. And I think honestly, they're following. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this because I feel like we're having kind of two separate conversations here, and I want to circle back, and then we'll get to JD Gamer's last
we'll get to super chat.
So C Money, you're in the camp where the Switch 2, you believe it's going to be fully backwards compatible. I think that's where you're heading towards. And you're in the camp that you think that Nintendo is going to allow their backward compatible games to be able to take advantage of the hardware, to be up-resed and the frame rates, and they're going to give it away for free. That's the camp that you're in.
Yeah, I feel like if you own Breath of the Wild, that 60 frames per second patch that they've been showing people and the beefier resolution on that fun stuff, you buy your Switch 2, you take your Breath of the Wild card, you put it into your new system, and you get
like an
the update.
Xbox, like Xbox did with the FPS boost and the resolution boost.
That's not to say that they're not going to sell that version for people who don't have it.
Yeah,
but I just see them moving in the direction of being more on point with everybody else. Especially,
I
love C Money's optimism. I wish I lived in Rainbow Land like you did.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta say, is it technologically possible?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, man.
Is it technologically possible? Of course, it's technologically possible. It's been technologically possible for a long time. But if they do that, C Money, I will be stunned. Like,
me too.
Stunned.
New CEO, bro.
And dude,
no. But hold on. Let me finish. The reason why I'll be stunned is because that new CEO would lose his job. Like, unlike, follow me. Unlike any of the other platform holders, right? Nintendo has been able to find the secret formula. Every other console maker knows that you buy your console. And you make your console, you R&D it, you sell it at a loss, you get it back in software sales. Everyone from the beginning of consoledom, if you will, have been dealing with, well, we sell at a loss and then you pay us on our software. Microsoft would love nothing more than for you to get a Game Pass subscription and not buy their console, because that's one less thing that they did not sell at a loss. Except for Nintendo, who found early on that if they sell you potato level of hardware, as long as their geniuses give you games that make it not matter that it's a potato, you will buy that potato like hardware and they will turn a profit from day one. And they learned that long ago, and they've been following that thing forever.
Yeah, but you know what else
if they switch that up, that means they're gonna start taking it at a loss like everyone else. That would be stunning.
See, Money. What do you see? What do you see that the majority of people and me and K are not seeing? Why are you giving? Well, this is the thing.
I think we all see it, but I don't think you guys are putting the weight on it that I believe it has, and that weight is the Wii U. I don't think you guys understand how. Well, I know you understand, but you guys are not either feeling what it was, right? And like the Wii U was a massacre of Nintendo. Like if they would not have had the Switch again, it would have been very difficult for them.
It almost tanked them.
Even have a place.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So the Wii U was the last time they were being. Think about this. Okay, let's take this all out of the way, right? You think that there's no change, right? Okay, the Switch by definition takes away the entire thought process that both of you have right now. Because if they only cared about the way they had it, why would they not release another handheld another home console?
You're making a mistake here. You're making a mistake here. We do agree that the Switch was necessary, right? Yes. We do agree with you on that. Yes. And I also agree with you that because of what the Switch did, the Wii U did, that they will be conservative. They won't go off the beaten path and make weird, waggle controllers and none of that. They're gonna do Switch 2 or Super Switch.
There's not gonna be a Virtual Boy here coming up. You know?
It will literally be a conservative upgrade of your existing. I get that, right? But they can do that while still being the money first company they've always been. They can do that and make people happy, because what do people want? They want big boy Switch. They want more resources in exactly the same form factor they've always had, right? So of course, you're right, C Money. I don't think they're going to switch it up and give you a different device. They're going to give you that hybrid device exactly as you expected. But they'll give you exactly what you need and then charge you for everything else. So I don't see a world where you don't pay for Tears of the Kingdom again. I don't see that world.
So I think my point was more about the fact that the fear, understanding as a company that they're not untouchable. I think
true. Of
is
course,
the situation that I'm talking about.
But remember, you're right. You're right that they've realized that they're not untouchable. But they, since that time, have been the company that have been able to give you digital goods and time gated. Remember, they gave you Tetris 99 and went, or the Nintendo collection and went, oh, it's here now. It's going to go away if you don't buy it.
Yeah,
right?
The Mario 3-pack as well.
That's right. They have done craven things even after that stuff. They've done craven little experiments that have worked very well for them.
The system. But they did it to work around the system that they're in now, right? So they knew that those games would sell, right, by themselves as a 3-pack because it felt special, right? They remastered them, right? This wasn't just giving you your old games. Technically, it was remastered. Was it remastered well? That's a whole different discussion. But by definition, it was a remastered product. They had better resolution, right?
Hold on, guys. So we kind of gone off the rails here with the Nintendo. So C-Money, finish up your thought there.
Yeah, I guess the point is that I feel like Nintendo is looking at what's out there in competition land. They see what PlayStation and Xbox are doing. Even though PlayStation has done it much less than Xbox has, backwards compatibility is something that they've had. And Xbox has embraced it, bro. I'm telling you.
Listen.
Let's fast forward to next year. If I'm wrong, I'll bend the knee. I have no problem being wrong.
That's where I'm going with this. That's where I'm going with this. Look, I would love nothing more than to be able to come on a show and tell you, brother, you were right. You forecasted it. You saw it coming. And because of you put it out in the universe, Nintendo has followed. And now I can play Tears of the Kingdom at 60 and Nintendo charged me nothing for it. I don't think we live in that reality where Nintendo.
Well, remember, they did charge you for it
for free,
right? They did charge you for it because you bought the new system.
No. But see, you know what? Where I think John Wolf has a point is, until the consumer tells them that they will not get away with that, and no consumer has ever done that. Every time Nintendo charges you the same price for, like, full price for a quote unquote old game, you pay for it. There is no way that CEO will go, you know what? We're going to be consumer facing because they'll like that. Your consumer always pays because you just say Nintendo, you say Mario on it. There is no way on earth
they couldn't give it to you. They couldn't back compat this. This is not backwards compatible with the Wii or the Wii U. I'm sorry. The Switch is not backwards compatible. You can't take a disc of the Wii U and put it into this.
Let me tell you, the Wii U was a stronger system than the Nintendo Switch was. You could run
that. I know, but I'm not talking. Yes. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that running the game. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying the power. I'm saying that you can't physically take your old disc and put it into the Switch. So they have to sell you the game. So I don't think that relates because they don't have a backwards compatible situation right now to show that to you.
Sure, let's move on. But even in the Wii U world. They had digital goods that they chose to charge you again for rather than giving you
play your Wii games on your Wii U.
I think that this conversation we need to revisit it one day with C-Money on GCP. I think that
we do. Yes, we do for sure. Yes, we do.
And we can throw Everborn into the mix here to and
once I earn Everborn
challenge there. We'll take it. We'll take it on GCP.
Once I earn Everborn and the John Wolf's knees for Sonic completely trouncing Sonic for Mario completely trouncing Sonic, then I'll come and we'll have this debate.
I want to see where C-Money ranges in his loco.
Oh, come on.
My loco is loco. Okay, so C-Money, give me your loco on this right here. Me and Everborn have said that the first month of sales, Sonic Superstars is gonna outsell Mario Wonder. Where are you at with that? Are you on me and Everborn side on our crazy?
Mario Wonder is going to destroy Sonic.
Oh, but you believe that Nintendo's going to give away free upgrades? Come on, man. Your scales all over the place.
I mean, listen. The only reason I say that, let me tell you why. Because I want to play Mario Wonder.
Gotcha.
So if I want to play Mario Wonder on top of the people who are going to buy it anyway, right? That means because I don't play those games. I don't play those games like that. Man. So if they sold me, they're gonna sell a hell of a lot more people.
Right. So Kate, bookmark in your calendar. We got to get C-Money back so that me, you, and Everborn and C-Money can have this conversation again on GCP.
Bro, come on. Look. C-Money and I may disagree on certain aspects of Nintendo, but come on, man. The man is intelligent. He had only one answer to that question. There was only one answer to that question, sir, and he made the proper answer to that question. But let us move on.
You guys call yourselves Xbox at heart gamers, and you don't believe in Sonic. You don't believe in the
JD Gamer, $10 super chat. He says,
Sonic can afford to prove, bro.
Oh my God, panel. Why is the 1,000% Xbox Series sale increase on Amazon on the strength of Starfield being depressed by the media, and how will the release of this and other bangers affect hardware sales? You know,
because let me answer this one, all right? Because I've gone back and forth all week with a bunch of people on Twitter, because Latino heat is on the loose out there, all right? So guys, here's I'm gonna give you the reason why. Because there's a lot of people, whether it be in the media, it's a minority, but it is a loud minority, whether it's on the media side or it's on the Twitter space, okay, that is upset that this game did not release on PlayStation. It's as simple as that. There's no other way to hide it. There's no other way to turn this or twist it or bend it or whatever. That is the main reason that they're salty. So as a result, there's been what I feel has been a campaign, the likes that I have never seen towards a game, the scrutiny that I have never seen towards a game, to the point where every single angle, every single screenshot, every single planet is being picked apart. Everything, we talked about it earlier, that the person in the media asking why isn't this game optimized on PC, and then Todd Howard had to tell people to upgrade their PCs, kind of like, him kind of like snapping back. So it's they're not going to talk about that for some reason, because they want, what I feel is that this small minority wants people to think that this game is a failure when it's simply not. What do you guys think?
I don't disagree. It's a small minority, though. That's what it is. It's a small but vocal minority. And once you're out of your bubble, or once you're out of the hardcore spaces that we communicate, you find that it gets drowned out rather quickly, right? It gets drowned out pretty quickly. Because of that, I think it's kind of funny, and it's not as a big, not that much of a big deal. But it does have a nefarious side a little bit to itself, where that like some of these scores that are being put up by the media and whatnot, that will definitely relate to bonuses and how successful the game will be perceived in the long run. And all the meta narrative, the meta discourse is kind of taking away from the game itself, which I kind of think is unfortunate. But that's just taking away from the accolades that it could have and potentially should have gotten. Doesn't mean the game is any less great. So,
there's a 4 out of 10 out there. Okay. A 4
yeah, exactly.
So come on. So what about you, C Money?
I think the entire narrative that's trying to be set here is idiotic. Because you can't look at this game and believe that, honestly believe half the shit that the people are saying, right? Like it's just ridiculous. But it gets downplayed because they're in Sony's pocket, bro. And whether that's real in as far as getting money from them or not, that's not what I mean. I just mean like they are obsessed with PlayStation because PlayStation has the biggest market. So the majority of people out there, and this is just the facts, they don't want to hear good shit about. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say that word, so I'm not going to say it anymore. Sorry.
You're fine.
They don't want to hear good
brother. PG-13.
All right, cool. They don't want to hear like that stuff about Xbox. They want to hear negative stuff about Xbox. That's who comes in and butters their bread, right? It's all the sick fanboys who can't imagine a world where Xbox is not the laughing stock of the gaming industry. They need Xbox to be looked at as inferior to the PlayStation because, unfortunately, unlike us here on the Xbox side who have like games to play and things to keep us entertained on our actual consoles or on our PC, because in the Xbox world, PC is also part of it, they are sitting there twiddling their thumbs for a game that they've already played 4 years ago, and that's all they got for the next foreseeable future, right? So it's traumatizing for them, to see what's happening and seeing that the narrative is changing. There's no denying it. This is the start. This is not a anomaly. This is the start of what's to be our new normal. Now, maybe they won't all be Starfield level, right? Because Starfield is a beast on its own. But I'll argue that nothing that PlayStation has come out with is also on Starfield's level. as far as the breadth of what this game is, right? So this though will just be the start. We have Forza already. Previews are coming in. They looks amazing. People are loving it. We already knew Forza doesn't miss, right? So that's going to be a banger. We have that locked. And then we already know all of the huge games coming, from your Fables to your Avowed to your Clockwork Revolution, South of Midnight, which is freaking stunning. That, like, this is the new normal for us, and we're going to keep announcing new games and showing more, because there's so many other studios. We haven't even talked about Gears 6.
See, money, you know what I just thought of right now? And I don't want to jinx them, but let's never say that this developer never misses again, because we thought the same thing about Redfall.
Well, you know what?
Arcane doesn't miss. Oh man,
this is the thing. This is the thing. I will say that because I know that wasn't Arcane. That was the Bethesda, the desperate Bethesda, who was proclaiming that single player games are the shit until nobody was buying them, and then they're like, we need to jump into multiplayer, and they forced all their studios to go make these games that they're not good at making. Now, this is what I would say. Arcane has had enough of a history to be able to look at what they've done up to that point and say, okay, what's the difference? The difference is they were forced to do multiplayer on a game that shouldn't have had multiplayer.
Yeah, and a couple of times that they've come out with multiplayer experiences with 76 and Redfall, it's not really their strength. So I kind of excuse them for trying and it not being and them not being their strength. It's not an excuse. It's, you know, they're responsible for it, but you can forgive them, you know, for those misses, because they were trying new things. So I see
you forgive them, but you still watch them, right?
Yeah,
because they did show you that there is a version of them that cannot produce at the level that you need them to produce, right? Because even though this is something new, they should have produced. Okay, so that's because that's just business, right? I had you make this thing. You're supposed to be good at what you do. I don't care what it is. You're making it. It should be great. All right. But putting that to the side, okay, you keep an eye. Phil knows. Phil's going into this with Arcane eyes wide open. He told you right in that thing that he would gladly bet on them again. But he did not say I would bet on them forever. Right? He said I would bet on them again.
No, and like a good boss, he has to kind of keep an eye on what's going on, because that's what a good leader does and what a good boss does, and he has to make sure that everything in the ship is leading, and you trust but you verify. That's something I learned early in my in my investigator role. You trust people, but you need to verify that information. So guys, okay, we got one more super chat from JD Gamer. Who we have
a bunch actually.
Let me JD Gamer, I just want to say thank you. So yes, you've been ranking in those bucks all night, man. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
So JD Gamer, $2 super chat. He says the Switch will be on sale until they beat the PS2. Yeah, it is in their best interest, right?
Yeah, they want that record. They want the title. I can see that. Yep. Yeah,
and there's plenty of kids who don't need the newest, right? You keep them playing their Switch, the old stuff, you know, you're good.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, we have the man, Dragonheart Yobi, with a $5 super chat. He says, I believe they won't be full steam ahead with Switch 2 until they surpass PS2 lifetime sales. They are all there with 130 million plus sold and climbing. Yes. There you go. So to JD's point, you know, they're gonna keep at it until they beat it.
That's actually Dragonheart Yobi, and you want to know what's gonna propel them? Here it is, $199. When that sucker hits $199, and they pack in Mario Kart and maybe another Mario game or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, it's over. You're gonna see that thing skyrocket like crazy and surpass those sales.
Absolutely.
I think $199 is like the dream for most people, right? Get your console to $199 and you hit the mass market.
It's the same strategy that PlayStation used during the PS3 time, right? They lost from jump. PlayStation, Microsoft moved on, and they kept at it until they were able to beat them. You know,
they chipped away.
That's the plan.
They chipped away at that lead.
And of course, Dragonheart Yobi back with another $5 super chat, and he says, or they can release the Switch 2 and drop the Switch OLED to $250 Switch
There you
regular
go.
at $199
Yep. there
and
you
the
go.
mini to $99, and it'll kill. Yes,
Yes.
that's a killing. Absolutely.
Nintendo, look,
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
all sleep
Yeah,
on
man.
Nintendo because obviously we're into the next gen games and all that stuff, but they're doing good business, man. They really are.
And then
Absolutely.
Dragonheart Yobi's back with a $5 super chat saying, "Ayo, Nintendo, I'm gonna need that Super Mario 35 back. The Battle Royale game was addicting. He loved it. But
Nice,
this is my
nice.
point, right?
Well,
Out
you
of
can
all-
have it on Yuzu, sir. I'm just saying.
Out
We're a
of
PC
all
show
of the,
after all.
out of all of the crazy, different, weird things that we balk at whenever they do it, Nintendo's the only one that has put like virtual limits on digital content.
Yeah,
Everybody-
it's crazy.
Let's be right.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that went, well, we're not selling it anymore. So you like it or you don't. It is what it is, right? It's crazy.
That's a crazy
Let's see.
strategy.
Stanley Buffington, $5 super chat. He says the reason why the media isn't covering Xbox sales is because it won't be enough for Xbox to win for MPD. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Although that does bring up an interesting conversation, though. Do we think that Starfield will break MPD, including, even though they have it included in the subscription service, they hit ridiculous numbers with that
Yeah,
$100 edition.
Yeah, I think that I saw over the weekend Chris, I don't know his last name, but he
Dring?
did. Yeah, he did say that it looks like it's charting for #1 in the UK for
There you
box
go.
sales. Also, we saw it on Steam on top of the charts. I've seen it on the Xbox Store. I think that they're only behind either Fortnite or something like that. So it looks like, by all accounts, this is a massive success. Whether it be whether it be commercially, whether it be just from exposure, this game is bringing a lot of buzz to the Xbox brand, which is exactly what the goal of it is. That's why they bought Bethesda. And for the last thing I'll say, is that for all the people that are just hating on the game just to hate it, just remember that PlayStation wanted to lock this game down for a reason. So let's not forget that.
And JD Gamer with a final $2 super chat asking, what if Xbox wins MPD in September off of Starfield? That is a very interesting question, sir.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What do you think about that? C Money, let me get your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
A game that is available in a subscription service that is pretty much a very robust subscription service that everybody knows about, right? Imagine if they win or they chart an MPD even in spite of all that. Would that change some narratives in your opinion?
Well, he's saying Xbox, right? So he's saying if the console charts. Is that what he's saying? Or is he talking about the game?
Yeah.
I
He's
think
saying
that's what he means.
console. Yes,
Yeah.
he means the
Yeah,
console.
what if
Yes,
the console
yes.
wins MPD. I mean, the thing about that is, as much as that would be dope, which it absolutely can, I think at this point in the generation, we're at like a Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 situation where the PlayStation right now is so far ahead. Can they catch up by the very end with all the bangers that they're gonna have? Yeah, but the meaningful talk of like who won the generation, it's already PlayStation's. So I think that right now, what they're doing, especially with ABK and all this stuff, they're just setting up for next generation to try to see what that looks like. Because I just don't this right now. If they win the month, that'll be great, right? But then Spider-Man 2 will come out next month, and all the PlayStation guys are gonna go buy one, right? And then it'll go right back to where it was. Not that Starfield doesn't have legs. Starfield the game is gonna be selling, forever.
Let me ask you this. Let me throw a curveball at you. What do you think that this game has done for the PC GPU space? You think that, because I've seen and we've seen them because they're part of our community. We've seen a lot of our brothers and sisters go out there and get PCs for Starfield. Do we think that this game has moved the needle for NVIDIA and AMD?
I would say I've seen a lot of handhelds in that conversation as well.
Yeah,
specifically,
if
because
anything,
of
I would
this.
say handhelds probably got a huge bump from it. The ROG Allies and such of the world. I think PCs are still, for the people who are not PC heads, it still feels like something that is like this difficult mountain to climb. Like buying a PC for gaming
It is. It was for me. It was quite a hurdle to jump.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing on PC for a long time, and I still like get annoyed with the fact like, oh man, I didn't update my driver, so I have to update that before this. I didn't do this.
He's like bringing back the driver talk. Come on, man.
No, but it's real. I literally happened to me with the freaking ROG Ally, and I didn't update the AMD. I had to go find it somewhere, and that's what was stopping me from being able to play it.
See, Money, what do you think? What do you think of multiple launchers? Are you a fan? Don't answer that. I'm gonna side reel the show. Don't answer.
I prefer one launcher to read them all. But
you see, Kay, you see, I'm not alone out there. Thank God.
But it's difficult because there's not a good one because they always sync back to the original launcher, so there's no point. You still have to have the launcher. So
but the problem that we're discussing here, the problem where I think Mr. John Wolf is a troglodyte is like I don't care if there's 18 launchers. I have 300 games on the Steam on the Twitch launcher, but and I never paid a single. But I never paid a dime. No. Look. I have GTA 5 on the Epic Game Store, and I paid $0.99 for it. If it means I have to install a launcher to play it, who cares? It's just a different click of a button. Like, what are you complaining?
This is a joke I got going because I hate multiple launchers, and like when Epic comes out and they're like, oh, we have exclusive. I'm like,
the reason
I don't care.
You know the reason why
like,
I push back against him. I push back against him is because for the longest time there have been two things that have dogged PC gaming. One, people talking about drivers being a problem, which is the same problem on Windows as it is on consoles. Difference is most people put their consoles in sleep mode, so it downloads the drivers beforehand, and you don't do that on your PC.
You're right, Kay. A buddy of mine was the other day about that. Actually, that he got home, he wanted to play Call of Duty, and the update was over an hour, and he just
the same thing. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Because if you don't put it in sleep mode and let it do it while you're gone, it will be the same problem as it is on PC. The other problem is, PC people are so temperamental that even if you give them free shit, they'll say no because it's in a different launcher. That's another dumb narrative that needs to be stopped.
You can keep your free games. I don't want to launch your damn launcher.
You see,
you can have some truth for free. The people who are obsessed with Steam, like Epic, is literally giving like developers the best deal ever.
Yes,
they even have that new plan that they're giving you. What is it, like 6 months of zero fees? I forget how much it is, 6 months or 3 months, but like they're doing everything they can, and no matter what, the people like they're giving away free games every single week
because they're desperate because they know nobody else will launch
and it's like people won't swap. There's nothing, there's no burden for me to click on the Epic Game Store and play my game there.
No, like, I totally get it. And I'm the fool that is missing out on free stuff because I refuse to click my finger for
John. No, John, please. If you change your mind, then they'll stop giving us free shit. So please, continue
I'll hold it down.
Continue to be the troglodyte we know and love, so we get our free stuff. Okay.
All right, guys. So we're coming up on 2 hours, guys. See, Money, I'm sorry we kept you a little bit longer than originally expected, but I think that the conversation was going too good, man. We couldn't let that Nintendo talk down, and everybody that tuned in for the PCMR talk, it turned into a Nintendo talk. So we kind of side rail sometimes, but guys, this is what the show's all about, the conversation, the tech of things, and we're all gamers here, guys, so we can talk about whatever consoles and you know that we can engage in conversation all day here. So thank you so much for C Money for joining us tonight. We kept you away from Starfield and the family for a little while, but remind everybody, C Money, your channel. Kay, you think we can link that up on the notes, on the show notes afterwards, so that
absolutely, yes, you'll definitely be able to find all the information from C Money in our show notes when it posts live as soon as the show is done. We appreciate you being here, C Money. As our fine host, Mr. John Wolf, has said, why don't you tell the people once again where they can find you, all the wonderful things that you bring on your channel?
Yeah, and any other shows that you'll be appearing throughout the week, brother.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it. Number one, thank you guys again for having me. This was awesome. I had a great time. Every time you go on a show, it's nice when it's just natural. Like you just feel like you're just talking to your homies instead of like, you know, worrying about anything. Like this is it's natural, and I really enjoyed it. So I appreciate you guys. So right on, if you see on the screen, right where my name is, it says @CMoneyForever. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter and X there. And X, is it both? Is it two things? No, it's Twitter /X, whatever they want to call it. I hate this.
It'll always be Twitter for me, man.
It'll
always
be
just call it Twitter. Like, but then I hear people, bringing up X, and I'm like, should I start saying X?
Yeah, just
it's a lot of energy. So on Twitter, CMoneyForever. So you can follow me there. And then right underneath that, it says On Point 4 Gamers. That's the name of our channel. You can find us on YouTube there. We do 4 shows a week. Like I said, Monday mornings at 9 a.m. We got the Morning Quest every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But tomorrow is 4 p.m. Eastern time because King David works at night. So you can find us there on Tuesdays. On Friday nights, we have our brand new show, On Point Anime and Beyond, which is our anime and pop culture, TV, movie talk. That's on Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday is our On Point the Gaming Newscast. It's our gaming podcast. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And that's where you find us. Now, I am also on Xbox Factor Podcasts on Mr. Boomstick XL's channel. That's on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. And we would love for you to come check us out there. We would love for you to come check us out on our channel. We're approaching 11,000 subscribers. So, if you come, swing by, take a look, subscribe, show us some love. Much appreciated.
Awesome, man. And I hope you let Boom and all his viewers know about your crazy Nintendo theory that you think that they're going to give stuff away for free. So
listen, if they ask, they receive.
El niño que no llora no mama. All right, and whoever knows Spanish, you'll know what that means. Okay, do you know what that means?
I do, but I'm not going to get into it. My wife speaks Spanish. Yes.
Okay.
Do you know what I want to know? I want to have one day a conversation with Mr. C Money and Daniel McGee. I feel like it'll be a very great conversation.
Yeah, Daniel is awesome, dude.
It's Daniel McGee's on the Xbox Factor podcast.
Yes,
as well.
Yes, he is as well. Yes.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
That's excellent.
That's awesome. So Kay, my co-host, go ahead and let the good people know where you'll be found this week on various different shows and what you'll be up to.
So if I'm lucky, I will be this Wednesday on Prime Time Gaming with Mr. Boomstick and friends. Nice. Yes, I am a member on Mr. Boomstick's channel. If I'm lucky, because this week has been really murdering me. This has been a week from hell, and all I want to do is spend my time playing Starfield, and you know how it goes. Yep. It is what it is. But you can catch me this Saturday, Gaming Circle podcast with my man, Mr. Everborn Saga. We're working on some interesting special guests. We'll see where we go with that, but it should be a great conversation. And it's interesting. While we've been busy playing games, guess what's happening? Time is passing. So at any moment in time now, we'll be hearing more about this ABK deal closing. People were talking about it for so long, having ridiculous conversations, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as a game showed up, people got busy, and now no one's paying attention to that anymore.
And
that's great.
that we got Mortal Kombat launching in a few days, guys.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean days?
In a few days.
Yeah, I think that launches this week, or next week.
If
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I got a chance to beta test it, like the open beta. Like initially, I thought, the game might just look like its predecessors. Man, I was wrong. That game looks amazing.
It launches on the 19th, guys, and then the same day as Lies of P.
Also next Tuesday.
Oh, yep.
Same day as Lies of P.
There you go. So it's coming up. Dang. So Kay, go ahead and finish up.
So thank you so much, and check us out GCP this weekend, Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or as you guys are hearing now, very soon you'll be catching us talking about what do you call it, Sonic Super Mario Wonder. All those games are coming out very soon. So there's a lot of great conversation about to happen on this show soon. So come check us out again.
Let me ask you a question. You got a few months to enjoy a little bit of running, a little bit of walking around your neighborhood, because your knees are about to disappear all of a sudden. All right, just like our time disappears.
Look.
That's all I'm saying. And then C Money's knees are next.
Look, man. It's funny that you say, man. Look. When you say I'm just letting you hang yourself because your bet is the worst of all bets. So every time you speak,
that's a hard one. It
will be used against you in a court of law later. Like you will be ridiculed without compare. I'm sorry, sir.
You think C Money has a better chance of Nintendo giving away the game upgrades than I?
That's a good question, Kay. Which one? If you had to pick one, okay, you can either pick that Sonic is going to win, or Nintendo is going to give you the upgrades if you already own the game.
What do you think sounds more
crazy? You go, okay?
This is the worst.
Has to. There's no middle ground. Sonic is going to win, or Nintendo gives you free upgrade if you own the game.
I think in the dystopia where Sonic wins is the same dystopia where Nintendo gives you free games.
Come on. In Elseworlds,
that's the Elseworlds. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
I think C Money, the only place that happens is in Elseworlds where Sega actually dethroned Nintendo. And they kept on going. So
we'll see.
So guys, thank you so much for everybody in the chat for turning out that just like you always do on a weekly basis. We appreciate the feedback on the chat as well as all the super chats, man. Thank you to everybody. That helps the channel a lot, so we really appreciate that. Me and Kay, we're slowly him. I and Everborn are trying to build something special here, guys. A community-focused, little community here for us, and we really do appreciate the support. So, John Wolf, guys, as you know, hit me up on Twitter. You're going to see a lot of nonsense out there because I get into my wrestling persona on there. Okay, I like to talk that smack and go back and forth, but it's just fun and games, guys. Please, let's never take this stuff personal because none of it is personal. And until next time, guys, we'll catch you next week. We got another big show coming up next week, and C Money has a lot of good stuff coming his way. Kay Asante is going to be a bunch of shows as well. So anywhere, guys, that subscribe to all these great content creators. And until next time, guys, peace.